Nick's story doesn't begin in comfort, privilege, or predictability. It begins in the chaos of a home filled with arguments, betrayal, and instability. His parents fought constantly, separated multiple times, and ultimately fractured for good after his father's affair with a family member's spouse. While others had memories of childhood milestones, Nick's memories are of tension, survival, and learning how to navigate emotional landmines before he was old enough to vote. But the tragedy that altered Nick's course forever came with the loss of his sister, Ashley Dawn Ames, who died after sustaining third-degree burns over 85% of her body in a tragic house fire. She was just 23. The fire started from a cigarette left on a porch chair and spread quickly. Several people in the living room made it out, but Ashley had been asleep in her bed under covers and was found knocked unconscious. She was kept alive in an induced coma for roughly 43 days, and despite the severity of her injuries, her youth and strength helped extend her life well beyond medical expectations. Nick was only 13 at the time, too young to fully process the trauma, but old enough to be deeply shaped by it. He remembers the excruciating tension of that time, family members filling waiting rooms, sleeping on floors and cramming into hotel rooms. He remembers the unbearable smell of the burn unit at Urbana-Champaign, one of the top burn centers in the country. He remembers the heart-wrenching moment his mother had to consider whether to take Ashley off life support. And he remembers signing a waiver for an extraordinarily rare procedure, done only about twice a year, where doctors had to open Ashley's abdomen and remove her swollen organs onto trays due to internal smoke damage. It was a brutal, extraordinary fight to preserve her life. Fundraisers were held all over, ultimately raising over $2 million to cover her medical expenses because she had no insurance. Ashley's strength and will to live became a symbol of what it meant to fight for every breath. Homeless during much of high school, Nick and his mother lived in their car, in motels, paid for by the school district, in shelters, and on friends' couches. He was even late to start his junior year because he didn't have a place to stay in the district, qualifying him as homeless under the McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act. With no stable home, he still showed up to school every day, not just to attend, but to excel. He worked full-time while enrolled in Calculus 3rd, Physics, AP English, Chemistry 2, Biology 2, and Anatomy and Physiology. No one else in his high school had a course load like that. No one else was commuting to a college to take advanced classes while wondering where they'd sleep that night. No one else was balancing finals while recovering from a car accident on the way back from their grandfather's funeral. And through it all, Nick had no idea that teachers saw him as brilliant, because the students didn't know how to talk to someone who'd already lived more than most, not in comparison, but in complexity, intensity, and the choices he made through it. He found connection in the minds of educators, not in the immaturity of classmates who had the luxury of safety. He felt years older than his peers, not just because of his intellect, but because of the emotional maturity forced on him by life. He longed to act like other kids, but was always too busy carrying adult responsibilities, and his struggle with insomnia became a silent symptom of how much he was juggling. When he chose to stay at Benton High School instead of returning to Flora, Illinois, it wasn't about convenience. It was about the quality of education, about long-term thinking. He had no place to live, yet still made an academic choice others wouldn't dream of making under pressure. He was 3 weeks late starting junior year due to homelessness, but still joined the highest-level classes the school offered. Despite missing a staggering number of days, up to 80 across junior and senior year, Nick remained enrolled thanks to protections under McKinney-Vento, which ensured his right to a stable education regardless of housing status. Even with that instability, he kept pushing forward, proving that dedication and talent could outlast even the most difficult circumstances. During this time, Nick even took on the task of applying for and managing his own food stamps and Medicaid, advocating for himself with state systems, proving lack of support from his parents, and handling adult responsibilities before most his age had even opened a bank account. There were moments that would have crushed most. While living in a shelter, Nick was asked whether his sister should keep her baby, a decision far beyond his years, layered with emotional weight no teenager should carry. He picked his mother up from jail after she was arrested for driving on a suspended license, saw her in handcuffs at the police station, and still went home to finish homework so he wouldn't fall behind in school the next day. That was the rhythm of his life. Trauma, responsibility, and determination all coexisting. Nick wasn't handed a future. He engineered one. He fought through every variable and obstacle like a systems thinker long before he had the vocabulary to describe it. This mindset led him to Medtronic, the world's leading medical device company, where he became a quality inspector trusted with critical inspections in cleanroom environments. His work is high-stakes, compliance-heavy, and detail-obsessed, and he thrives in it. Outside of work, Nick is pursuing a degree in manufacturing systems engineering, fully funded by his employer, with plans to continue to a master's. He's also paid off debt, lost over 60 pounds through discipline and a keto lifestyle, and actively builds a future rooted in stability, something he never had but always vowed to create. Despite everything, Nick is kind, he's thoughtful. He offers to pay for others to join experiences, not out of flashiness, but because he wants others to feel alive the way he's fought to. He carries emotional depth, navigates workplace politics with strategic grace, and continues to reflect, grow, and contribute meaningfully wherever he's planted. He values connection but has been let down more than once, by his ex-fiancée, who cheated after he moved across the country to be with her, by others who couldn't love him with the same weight he gives, yet he doesn't harden. He still kisses foreheads with tenderness, still checks in on people who might not do the same for him, still seeks meaningful love with the quiet hope that someone will truly understand the fire he's been through and not be scared by it. Nick is a man forged by hardship, driven by legacy, and defined by resilience. He's building a life not just for himself, but one strong enough to shelter others like his grandfather once did. His story is not a tragedy, it's a blueprint for how to rise, and he's only getting started.